Last time, on Alone in the Shadows of Brimstone.
On our arrival in Masthead, I received an envelope from back east. It proved to be the final piece of a puzzle that I'd been trying to solve for years: the location of the Lost City of Citlapilli. We stayed only a day in Masthead, trying to collect a few vital provisions that we would need for the 8-day ride to Mount La Pointe. On the morning of February 9th, the summit of the 850-foot butte came into view. As we reached the base of the mountain, we began searching for the hidden entrance to the city. Late in the afternoon, Eve spotted a cleft in the rock. It led to a giant bronze door. The next morning, we would enter the lost city, seeking its hall of treasures.
Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, and welcome to the channel. Tonight, we'll be joining Ray, Sky, and Eve as they undertake the mission, the search for the lost city of Citlapilli. Before we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to a few displays that I'll be using during the playthrough. The first is an initiative board that will help me run the mission. I've created 3 custom initiative tokens for my characters. For the viewers, it will be easy to determine which model is Ray, as he's the only male hero in the posse. However, the female members might be a bit harder to distinguish, especially since I'm not using the correct sculpt for the gunslinger. The easiest way to tell them apart is by their hair color. Eve is blonde, and she is the rancher. Sky is the redhead, and she's the gunslinger. The other display I'll be using is the hero status board. The D20s will display each hero's current health and sanity. This includes any bonuses from equipment. In the other column, I'll store their wound, sanity, corruption, and grit tokens. This will make it easier for the viewers to see their current stats and easier for me to account for changes during the playthrough. During the mission, the posse's experience and gold will be placed into a community pool. I'll distribute it to the heroes evenly at the end of the mission. I'll also be using my tactical bonus rule that I previewed in an update video during the previous season. With this rule, when a hero moves during a fight by making a successful escape roll, and he spends all of his available movement points for the turn, he's going to gain a -1/2 hit marker. This marker will be active until the start of the hero's next activation turn. In order to gain the marker, the hero must end their move a number of spaces from their current position equal to their movement, and pass all escape rolls that they attempt during the move. The marker will reduce the effectiveness of all attacks, both melee and ranged, made against the hero until the token is removed. In short, all enemy attacks against that hero will receive a -1 DRM to all 2 hit rolls. I'll use the reverse side of the Void Venom token to mark the hero's status. The passing of the escape test represents the hero using his training and intuition to adapt to the changing tactical realities of the battle and gain a tactical advantage. This straightforward rule does not change the rules as written per se. It simply adds a benefit to the heroes that choose to use fluidity in place of a static approach to combat. Now let's take a look at the mission goal, special rules, and objectives that we'll need to achieve. In the setup, we're going to start the mission on the standard map entrance tile, which we've done. The mission goal: the heroes must find 2 clues while exploring the lost city. When they find the first clue, they find an ornate stone carving that confirms this location as the lost city of Citlapilli. One hero may take the carving. Place a sacred stone token in their side bag. It operates just as a normal side bag token until it is sold in town. The token is considered to have a value of $75. The second clue is the location of the Hall of Treasures. Our special rules include all gates lead to the canyons. All gates in this adventure lead to the canyons, even gates found inside the canyons, as they lead to a different part of that world. And finally, our objectives. Find 2 clues while exploring the Lost City to locate the Hall of Treasures. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token. Also ignore any door or gate icons on the token, as the objective room has no exits. Then draw a high threat. When no enemy models remain, the mission is concluded. Normally we'd be consulting the mission theme table and making a D100 roll to see if the mission has an assigned theme to it. But in this case, this mission already has dedicated enemy tables and threat tables that'll be used during the adventure, so we won't do that at this point. It's the morning of February 10th, 1884, and the posse has entered into the initial chamber of the city. The posse has set up a temporary encampment near the entrance to the city, and will return to this location at the conclusion of the mission. We're ready to begin, and we'll start with the Hold Back the Darkness roll. The result is a 9. Alright, I had a little technical glitch, so I had to readjust the camera and the displays. We've passed our first Hold Back the Darkness roll, so we're going to advance on the initiative track. And our first character to activate is going to be Sky, so we'll have her roll for movement. Roll is a 5, so Sky's going to advance 5 spaces. And we'll have her move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I think I'm going to have Sky do a scavenge roll. So we'll have her roll 3 dice, and she'll be able to draw a scavenge card for each 6 that she gets. Here's the roll. And she has 2 1s and a 2, so no success there. That'll end Sky's activation. We'll move on now to Ray. Ray and Eve both have the same initiative, so I'm going to use Ray first. We'll have him roll for movement. Now he has a special ability called Wild Card, and he can recover a grit on a move roll of 1 or 2. Roll is a 2, so that's going to give Ray an extra grit. He is now at 2 grit, and I'll have him move the 2 spaces ahead, and we'll have him do a scavenge roll. And he has no success, 2 2s and a 3. We'll move on now to Eve. Eve is going to roll for movement. Her roll is a 5. So we'll have her move 5 ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll have her try a scavenge roll. And she has 2 successes, believe it or not. 2 6s. So we are going to place a scavenge marker on that tile. And now she's going to be able to draw 2 scavenge cards. So we'll shuffle up our scavenge deck, and she'll be able to draw 2 cards. Okay, here is the first one. And she finds something shiny. 10 XP. There's something back there. Roll a d6. Okay, we'll have her roll a d6. The result is a 4, and she's going to find a Darkstone. That's great. So we'll give Eve a Darkstone. Now for her second card. I don't know if we're supposed to, when you have multiple ones, I don't know if you reshuffle every time or not. It's a good question. I'm going to check that out. No, the rules clearly state that you shuffle the deck, there's no discard pile, and you draw the number of cards that you need to resolve that action. So in this case, the something shiny card will be placed off to the side, and we just continue to draw the next card. This time we've got nothing here, 10 XP. So the team has earned a total of 20 XP, and she also got a Darkstone. So we'll add the 20 XP to the community pool, and the XP I'll place on her card. So that will complete our activations. We'll move to the end of the round, and if there would be any tokens or cards that the team would like to use, we can use them at this time. At this point, I don't think we will, so we're going to start with a new round by holding back the darkness. Okay, here is the roll. And we've rolled a 3, so we have failed, and that's going to move the darkness marker up 1. All right, now we are going to activate in order, beginning with Sky. And she'll roll for movement. And she rolls a 5, so I'm going to have her move ahead 1, and she's going to take a look down the passage. So we're going to draw a map tile card and see what she finds. And she finds a cross passage. No exploration token. So we'll get a cross passage out, and I'll readjust the camera. So we have a cross passage. It'll allow us some variability in the direction we're going to go. And that is going to complete Sky's turn, and we'll move on now to the activation of Ray. And he's going to roll for movement. His roll is a 2. Okay, he has 2 movement points. That would get him another grit, but he's at maximum grit now. So what he can do is use the grit that he just earned for extra movement. So I think that's what he'll do. He'll use that grit he just got, and that will allow him to move an extra D6 in addition to the 2 movement points that he's already got. And that'll give him a total of 4 movement points. So we'll have him move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And grit is spent. And we can have him scavenge, since he's on the break point, either tile. So I guess I'll have him scavenge in the tile in back of him. That'll keep us with 2. Incidentally, I should mention, in the new revised rules for Shadows of Brimstone, they allow you a variable amount of scavenging per tile based upon the size of the posse. We have a 3-hero posse that would allow us to scavenge each tile twice. So we'll apply it to the entrance tile, and I'll have him roll 3 dice and see if he can find something. And he has no success. He's got 2 3s and a 2. That'll end Ray's activation, and we'll move on now to Eve. And Eve will roll for movement. And she rolls a 4. Well, she's only going to be able to move up 1, so we'll do that, and then I'll have her scavenge. And she has 1 6. So that's going to allow her to draw 1 scavenge card. All right. Let's shuffle that deck up and have her draw scavenge card. Okay. And let's see what she finds. Nothing here. 10 XP. All right, we'll add 10 XP to our community pool and give us a total of 30 XP now. And that is going to bring Sky's activation to a close. That'll be the end of the round. And I think we'll move to a new round, and we'll roll to hold back the darkness. Okay, here's the roll. Roll is a 6. We've failed. It's going to advance the darkness marker, and we're going to move into a blood splatter. It means we're going to have to draw a darkness card. And that darkness card is revealed to be Darkness All Around. And that card reads, Darkness. Anytime a hero is KO'd, the darkness moves D3 spaces forward on the depth track, or 1 space for any ally killed remains in play. All right, well, hopefully we are not going to get anybody KO'd. I'm going to put that card on my rack of remains in play cards. And we'll begin our activations starting with Sky. And she's going to roll for a move. She rolls a 1. Okay. And that's going to earn Sky a grit token. We'll mark her accordingly. Now everybody's got 2 grit. And she'll be able to move 1 space forward. That's what we'll do. And I'll have her do a scavenge roll on that new tile. See if she can find something. And she has no success. 1, 3, and a 5. That's going to end her turn. We'll move on to Ray. Ray will move, roll for movement. Roll is a 3. So he has 3 movement points. And I think he is going to pick a direction here. And I think he'll move to the north. So I'll have him move 1, 2, and 3. And he's not going to look through the door yet. I'm going to wait until I can get Eve a little closer. So I'll have him do a scavenge roll in that cross passage. Okay, here's his roll. And he has no success. 2 1s and a 2. That'll bring Ray's turn to a close, and we'll move on now to Eve. Here's Eve's roll. She rolls a 2 for movement, and I'll have her move 1 and 2, and we'll have her attempt to scavenge in that cross passage. And she has no success. That's a 1, 2, and a 4. Brings us to the end of the round. And we'll start a new round by holding back the darkness. Okay, here's the hold back the darkness roll. We rolled a 7, so we're good. That's great. And now Sky is going to activate for move. She rolls a 2, so I'm going to have her move 1 and 2. Have her move there, and she'll attempt a scavenge. And she has 1 6, so we have 1 success, and we'll have her draw a scavenge card. Shuffle that up, and she'll draw. This time she finds Emerging Darkness. Sometimes when you look too deeply into the shadows start looking back. Draw a darkness card. Okay, that's going to earn us 10 XP. I'll add that to our community pool. Gives us 40 XP so far. And now we have to draw a darkness card. Let's see what happens here. And the darkness card is revealed to be Terror from Beyond. That's darkness and attack. Unspeakable evil lurks in the shadows that lay beyond the lighted gate. Ambush attack. 1 night terror or D3 night terrors if 5 or 6 heroes. So it's going to be 1 night terror is the ambush attack. Alright, so we have an ambush situation with a night terror. I'll bring the night terror's enemy card up on the screen, and we'll have to find out now who the night terror is going to ambush. What I like to do is, you can roll to see which character, but I just like to quickly use their character discs, put them in a cup, and then just randomize them and draw one out, and it makes it a lot easier than trying to roll the dice that many times. Okay, it's going to be the gunslinger, and that's going to be Sky Jones is the target. So we're going to place that night terror into a combat position with her. And I think we'll place him there. All right. Now we're going to place the Night Terror's token on the initiative track. He has an initiative of 3, so he would be in the 3 column. Now the Night Terror gets a +2 during an ambush to his initiative. So the Night Terror will actually have an initiative of 5 for this first turn. Actually, I think I'm going to start the Night Terror here. Since he has that terror ability, anybody beginning next to him at the start of their activation on the same map tile takes 2 horror hits. So I think that would be more than likely what he would like to do if he could. So that's what we'll do. This happened during a mid part of a turn, so we're going to start a new round here, beginning with holding back the darkness. So we'll begin the fight with a hold back the darkness roll. Roll is an 8, so we're good. Now we're going to activate in order, and we're going to begin with Sky. Now Sky has a special ability called Quick Draw. During the first turn of a fight, you are initiative 10 and may shoot and gain +1 shot with a single-handed weapon. That's what she's got, so she's technically going to be initiative 10 for this round, and she's going to target that Night Terror with her Quick Draw. Now she's beginning her activation in the same map tile. She's going to take 2 horror hits, so she'll be able to defend against that with her willpower. So she's got 2 horror hits, and she'll roll 2 dice, and on a 4 or greater she can block them. Okay, she did neither of them, so she's going to gain 2 sanity damage. So we'll mark Sky with 2 sanity damage, and now she can activate, and she's going to roll for movement. Now she's in a, technically she is adjacent to an enemy, so if she wants to move, she'll have to escape from that. It has an escape value of 3. So we'll have her make a roll for movement. She rolls a 4, so she's got 4 movement points, and now we'll see if she's able to escape from that creature. If she does, she's going to be able to gain, if she moves her full amount 4 spaces away, she can gain a -1 to hit for her tactical movement. She rolls a 1, so she's unable to escape. She'll have to stay where she is, and now she's going to attack using her pistol. Now her pistol gives her normally 2 shots, but because of her Quick Draw, she gains +1 shot, so that is good. Now she is going to hit with a ranged attack of 3+. So that's pretty good. Okay, here is the roll. And she's got a total of 2 hits. One of them is a critical hit. All right. So as she only has 1 target, she'll be applying both of those hits towards the Night Terror, and we're going to make the roll for the critical hit. And that means that no defense will be allowed in this. So this is the damage roll for the Night Terror. And she rolls a 6, and I think she's also going to use one of her Deadeye shots, which is going to give +2 to damage. And that's going to award a total of 8 points of damage to the Night Terror. Night Terror has a health of 12. So we'll place 8 damage on the Night Terror, and now we'll take care of her second hit. And we'll see what that one is. Now the Night Terror has a defense of 3, so we'll be subtracting 3 from this roll. The roll is a 5, so in reality that is going to do a total of 2 points of damage. Now we can use another Deadeye shot, I believe. She can use one for each hit. I'm going to have to check that. And that is true. She's able to use 1 Deadeye shot for each hit. So I think we will use another one. It's going to bring that damage up to a total of 4. And that's going to be 12. And that's enough to kill the Night Terror in 1 round. That is fantastic. So he's going to have a total of 12 damage, and he is gone. That is great. That was some outstanding shooting by Sky. She did a great job. Now we're going to calculate her XP. And according to the rules, it says XP is gained individually for each hit that does 1 or more wounds to the enemy. The amount of XP gained is equal to the base XP value, as well as an additional 5 XP for each wound done. Well, our first set did a total of get the base value of 10, and 6 hits we did, or 6 wounds I should say, so that'll be a total of 30 XP for that. The second set will gain 10 plus an additional 5 for each wound. for a total of 20. The other damage was caused because we used the Deadeye shots. We don't get credit for that though. So the Night Terror has been brought down before it could even act. It's outstanding. We're going to add all of this XP into the community pool, and that's going to bring the fight to a close. And now we move to catching our breath. Once all the enemies on the board have been defeated, the fight ends immediately. Catch your breath. Each hero is allowed to catch their breath at the end of each fight, healing D3 wounds or sanity, any mix. If the fight ended before the hero got to activate, they get to heal D6. All right. Well, the only wounded character we have is Sky herself. Now, she ended up activating, so she's going to get a D3 value of healing sanity or wound damage. So we'll make the roll. She rolls a 2, so that healed both of her sanity damage that she got. And that was from the horror hits that she took. And now we're going to be able to draw loot cards. After a fight, the hero gets loot for their hard work. At the end of the fight, every hero is allowed to draw 1 loot card for each threat card that added enemies to the fight, to a maximum of 3 cards each. Well, this wasn't added due to a threat card. I'm going to have to look into that. And it clearly states this also includes each instance of enemies that were added to the fight by other means, such as a darkness or encounter card or the depth event chart. All right, so we will each get a loot card. That is great. So we'll shuffle up our loot deck, and each character is going to get 1 card. We'll give 1 to Sky, 1 to Ray, and 1 to Eve. All right, and we'll check out Sky's loot card first. And she gets, this could come in handy. Draw a gear card or an artifact card if in another world. It's worth 20 XP. So we'll add an additional 20 XP to our total. And she's going to draw a gear card. We'll see what she gets. And this time she pulls Dead Man's Buckle. +1 to strength. Your attacks are damage +1 against undead enemies. That is awesome. So we're going to give that to, and that has one weight to it. We'll give that to Sky. That is fantastic. Next up will be Ray. Let's see what he finds. He gets a Darkstone Shard with 30 XP. We'll award 30 XP to the group. And a Darkstone Shard, which we will give to Ray. Fantastic. And finally we have Eve. And she's got, what's this? Loot Artifact. Draw an artifact card or a gear card if in another world. It's worth 20 XP. We'll give 20 XP to the group, and they're going to draw, she's going to draw an artifact card. Outstanding. So we'll make a draw from the Mine Artifact deck, and she finds Darkstone Bullets. Discard to make all of your gun hits +1 damage until the end of the adventure. Limit 1 ammo at a time. Has a value of $50. All right, so she's going to keep those in reserve, I think, until we need to use those. So that's pretty good. We'll give that to Eve, and we'll put that in her backpack. And I like to store any items that aren't in the hands of the characters. I put those underneath the side bag, and that kind of simulates to me that it's like in a backpack or something. All right, the only thing left now is to adjust our initiative track. Sky is going to go back to her normal initiative of 6. The Night Terror has been removed. And we're going to start a new round by holding back the darkness once again. So we'll make our roll and see if we're able to pass it. And we rolled a 3, unfortunately, so we failed, and that's going to move our darkness marker up to from 2 to 3. All right, and now we're going to activate in order, and that's going to be starting with Sky. So Sky is going to activate, and we'll roll for movement for her. Her roll is a 5, and I think what she'll do is she's going to move forward and she's going to take a look down the passage. So we'll draw a map deck card from the mines. And this time we find a T-junction passage, no exploration token. All right, let's get that out and we'll set it up onto the map. So our T-junction has been placed. We're already at a darkness level of 3. So I think I might cut down on the amount of scavenging we're going to do. I want to try to make sure that we need to find 2 clues here, and we have none so far. By the way, I have to move up our posse marker. We've found 2 tiles, so we're actually at 14 now. All right, that is going to bring Sky's turn to a close, and we'll move on now to Ray, and he'll roll for movement. His roll is a 6, and I think we'll have Ray move around the corner, and we'll head to the east. So he'll move 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not going to look down the passage yet. I'm going to wait till Eve can kind of move up. So I think I will, in this instance, do a scavenge roll on the new T-junction. So he'll do a scavenge. And he has 1 success. He has 1 6. So we'll get out our scavenge deck and see what he finds. Shuffle that up. And let's see what he gets. And he has found a useful discovery, 10 XP. Pulling it from the gnarled hand of a dead body, you find something of value in this forsaken place. Draw a gear card. Outstanding. All right, we're going to award our posse 10 XP. And we're going to draw a gear card. Let's see what Ray has found. And this time he has found a Defender's Hat. While there are more enemy models on your map tile than heroes, you may re-roll one defense roll per attack against you. Value of $400, and it has a weight of 1. Well, we'll give that to Ray. That's good. That is a gear clothing hat. Okay, I have to place a scavenge token in that tile, and I think we also have to place one on this one. That's what led to the attack that we had. I think that was from Sky's, Sky's scavenge. So we'll place a scavenge token in that tile as well. That's going to bring Ray's turn to a close, and we'll move on now to Eve. And she's going to roll for move. Rolls a 5. All right, I'll have her move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she'll go in back of Ray. That'll leave an avenue for Sky to move into. And that's going to bring the round to a close. I won't have her do any scavenging there. And we'll begin a new round, and we're looking for a 7+ on our darkness roll. Here's the roll. And we rolled a 4, so we failed. It's going to move our darkness marker up to 4, and we're going to have, that's a blood splatter, we'll have to draw a darkness card. Oh no. And we end up drawing the darkness card called Race Against Time. The card reads Darkness. Whenever the darkness marker moves onto a blood splatter or growing dread space of the depth track, every hero takes D6 horror hits remains in play. Wow, well, we're definitely going to have to try to pick up our pace a little bit if we're going to be able to complete this adventure. We'll place that card on our active remains in play cards in that rack, and we'll continue on. And now Sky is going to activate for movement. And we'll roll a die for her. Her roll is a 5, so I'm going to have her move up 1, 2, 3, 4, and she's going to take a look down the passage, and we'll see what we find. And she finds another cross passage, no exploration token. Oh boy. All right, we'll get out another cross passage and update the map. So we've got another cross passage, and that's going to complete Sky's activation. We'll move on now to Ray, and he'll make a roll for movement. And he rolls a 3. All right, and we'll have him move 1, 2, and 3. And I guess I'll have him try a scavenge. And we'll see if he can find something on that new tile. So we're going to roll 3 dice and see what happens. And he has no successes, 2 1s and a 3. It's going to end his activation. We'll move on to Eve. And Eve is going to roll for move. Her roll is a 4. All right. I don't think that's connected there, so she'll have to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll have her go in back of Ray. And I suppose I'll try a scavenge. I hope I'm not going to regret this. We'll have Eve scavenge. And she has no success. That'll bring the round to a close. And we'll move on now to a new Hold Back the Darkness roll. Right. And the roll is a double 2s. That is a depth event. And that reads, Dark Dread. Things are looking more and more bleak by the moment. Draw a Growing Dread card and add it to the stack. All right. So we are going to add a Growing Dread card to our stack. We don't reveal that until the final battle. Now we can mitigate this. If all of the heroes contribute 1 grit, we can actually discard that Growing Dread. And I think we might do that. All of our heroes currently have 2 grit, so I think we will do that. I'm going to discard 1 grit from each of our heroes, and we're going to discard that Growing Dread card without even knowing what it is. So we're going to place that Growing Dread card, sight unseen, into the discard pile. Now, the rules state that you can discard it even after it's revealed. But in this case, I think it's a good idea just to keep those under kind of control. So we have no Growing Dread cards at the moment now. That's good. All right, now our characters will activate in order, and we're going to begin with Sky. Now, I should have moved our depth marker down 1 more to 13. That is the 3rd room that we have discovered. So Sky is going to make her roll for movement. See what she gets. Her roll is a 2, so she's got 2 movement points. And I guess we'll have her move 1 and 2. And that's going to end her turn. I think we will forego the scavenging for the moment. Next up is Ray, and he's going to roll for movement. He rolls a 2. Okay, that's going to entitle him to a grit token because he has that special wildcard ability. That'll move him back up to 2 grit. And he's going to move ahead. And he's going to take a look down the passage. We'll see what he finds. And he finds the track stop. It has an advanced encounter called Ominous Hole. All right, we're going to lay that out. So, it has the advanced encounter called Ominous Hole. We'll place that near the tile, and we're going to have to place an exploration token there. So we're going to shuffle up our exploration tokens and place one there. Okay, and we have an exploration token in that location. All right, that is going to finish up Ray's activation. We have to move our depth track marker down 1 more. We're at 12 now. And Eve is going to activate now, and we'll have her roll for movement. And she rolls a 1. That's going to get her grit, which is great. And she only has 1 movement point though, so we'll add 1 grit to Eve's status board. And Eve is going to move 1 space forward, and that is going to bring the activations to a close. It's now the end of the round. None of our heroes have any wounds or sanity damage. Now we're going to go on to our exploration phase. So we'll turn over our exploration counter and see what we've got. And we have an attack. There's 1 exit from the room So we'll have to find out where that is first. We'll make a quick roll using the diagram on the map card. And we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will tell us where the opening is. Roll is a 6, so the door opening will be here. That's going to be closed off. All right, our tiles and doors have been laid out, and now we have to decide what this attack is all about. Now, the adventure has a special table called Common Enemies, Undead Warriors. Whenever a threat card would be drawn, first roll a d6. On a result of 4+, the heroes are attacked by undead warriors, the ancient guardians of the metropolis, according to the following table. Posse is level 1, so if that's true, d3 plus 1 undead warriors will appear. Let's see if it is the undead warriors. Roll is a 3, so it is not the undead warriors. In that case, we move on to the special threat deck. For this mission, when a threat card would normally be drawn, except if it is a common enemy's undead warriors threat, use the table below to generate the threat. We're going to roll a d20 and find out what we find. Here is the d20 roll. The result is a 9, and that's going to be p-value of hellbats. So we'll be rolling a peril die and determine how many hellbats are coming out. And here's our peril die roll for hellbats. The result is a 4, so 4 hellbats are coming out to challenge the heroes. All right, so the hellbats have been deployed, and we're going to have to resolve a mine encounter first before we undertake the fight. We'll get our initiative board up to speed now. Now the hellbats have an initiative of 6, so we'll be placing their token on the 6th column. But Sky has that quick draw ability, and during the first round of the fight, her initiative is 10. So she is going to be activating first when we get to the activations. And I think this is a good spot to end the video. We'll have a little bit of a cliffhanger, and we're going to return in the next video with our battle in the track stop. Thanks so much for watching this video, and for subscribing, and for your thumbs up. They're greatly appreciated. I hope you're enjoying this campaign playthrough of Alone in the Shadows of Brimstone, and I invite you to tune back in for our next episode. In the meantime, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, signing off and wishing you a pleasant evening. Good night.
Thank you.